Okay. Hi, Kimberly. Welcome.
Thank you. Hey, Christy.
How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a little bit of a crazy day, but I'm here and I'm in front of you, so I'm glad that we got to do this.
Yes.
Let me just go ahead and introduce you and then we'll get started.
Okay.
So, for those of you listening, thank you so much for listening today. We are really excited because Kimberly is a very, very wise woman, and I often go to her for many things when it comes to mommy advice or wellness advice or pet advice or any different advice. She has a wealth of knowledge and discernment, and she's a very loving and kind person. So first and foremost, we want to introduce her there. But professionally, she is a natural wellness practitioner. She is certified in Aroma-freedom, which if you've never heard of that before, we will get into great detail in that, which is an awesome modality to use for stress management and weight management. Specifically, what we're going to be talking about tonight is how to use oils and Aroma-freedom to help you achieve your weight management goals, whatever they may be. And she's a mother. She's a mother to a beautiful daughter. And she's also one of our Healthy Mom University instructors. And she is one of our wellness practitioners under Lactation and Wellness Consultants of Brevard. So she wears many hats, and I'm excited to, yes, I am very excited to allow you guys to get to know her tonight, because you will just be blown away by how intelligent she is. So let's go ahead and get started into the questions that I have for you tonight. First of all, Kimberly, can you talk to us a little bit about what essential oils are and how they can be useful in our day-to-day lives?
Absolutely. So essential oils are basically the life force of the plant. So it's something that is retrieved from a plant through one of a couple of different types of methods, like steam distillation is the primary method. And when it's done that way and you're receiving oil that's truly 100% natural, it's literally plant material, goes into a hopper, is steamed, and then it comes out of a coil into a container, and then that oil is pulled off. And that's the type of oil we're going to be talking about today, is that true, absolutely pure essential oil that's straight from plants. And those essential oils in the plants work in a variety of different ways, from helping to prevent disease in a plant or helping it to heal, preventing parasitic attacks or fungal attacks, things like that. So it has different modalities in the plant, and it also has different modalities for us.
Awesome. So just getting into that with when you talk about this kind that we're going to be talking about tonight, the kind that we're going to be talking about tonight, you have one brand of oil that you use, and that's Young Living. So talk to us about Young Living and why that's the one that you choose.
So unfortunately, the way that essential oils are marketed is not truth in labeling. And so I had to do a lot of research to find out what I wanted to bring into my home that I knew was truly going to be 100% safe.
Yes.
And contained what the label says it contains. So essential oils are overseen by the FDA. And so the FDA's ruling is how the labels are worded, if you will. So when they say, the FDA says, yes, your company can say 100% pure essential oil. What the FDA has, what it means is that company can say this much of that container is 100% pure essential oil, and this much of that container can be filler, junk, whatever, to be able to produce a lavender bottle of 15 milliliter bottle of lavender for $5. Okay, y'all, that's not possible, because it takes 22 square feet of lavender in a field to make one 15 milliliter bottle. And if you're farming it right, that's not going to cost you $5. So when I chose Young Living, I did so with research of what is the label saying, and then what is the company saying behind that. So Young Living has farms around the world, and they have very strict standards as far as what goes in those bottles and how those plants are produced. And they call that their seed to seal standard. So from the seeds that are selected, they're not genetically modified, they're off of the healthiest plants, all the way down to when that label goes on the bottle at the very end. There is a ton of testing that goes into that, from the soil in the field to the plant material before it's harvested to the plant material after it's harvested, on and on and on and on, to make sure that we really are getting 100% pure essential oils. So between that and Young Living's ethical stance for making sure that all of that plant material is grown around the world ethically and sustainably with organic practices. So no herbicides, no pesticides, no fungicides, grown on virgin soil. So that is why I chose Young Living, because if I'm going to make a difference in our home and improve our overall well-being by eliminating toxins, I want to make sure that I'm getting something that really is genuinely pure.
Absolutely. Yes. Great. So talk to us about Aroma-freedom. I had never heard of this before I, reconnected with you, and I got really excited about it. And I was able to go through an Aroma-freedom session with Kimberly, and it was really enlightening and very useful. And I can tell you that even today, I still use what we practiced. So talk to us about it and how it can be helpful in general, but specifically for people that are looking to achieve a level of fitness or a weight that makes them feel good about their bodies.
Absolutely. So Aroma-freedom is a step-by-step process that allows the individual who's going through the Aroma-freedom session to gain clarity and to gain freedom. And that's where the Aroma-freedom part comes into play. And the aroma part is that we actually get to utilize different essential oils in each of the steps of this process. And this process was developed by a clinical psychologist. He found that in his practice, when he took his patients through a series of questions and then had them inhale a different type of essential oil at each step of the process, that they oftentimes shaved years off of their therapy sessions, because they had revelations that came up from their subconscious. God has created us in an amazing way where our emotional database and our sense of smell in our brain are neighbors, and that's for a good reason. And so when we're pulling up these memories and have thoughts that are being brought to the surface, the essential oils can help bring clarity to that, helps to quiet the emotions, and therefore you're able to see what's really going on, and you have a new perspective. It doesn't take the memories away, but it does take sometimes the emotional power behind that. And that emotional power is actually what ends up being a subconscious driver that blocks us from being able to achieve our goals. So a perfect example is you're in second grade and you're singing and somebody says, "You have a terrible singing voice," right? Okay, well, take that into account. You're in second grade. And you take that to heart, it crushes you. So for the rest of your life, you're like, I don't really want to sing or even speak up. And you may not even remember that consciously, but there will be something that's driving you in a way that prevents you from being able to have a voice. That's a perfect example of where Aroma-freedom can come in. And while I am not a therapist or a counselor, I get the privilege of walking people through. And I work exclusively with women. I will work with children too, but women is really the heart of my ministry. They are the heart of my ministry. And so by taking each woman through this journey, through this step-by-step process where they start with a goal, like weight loss or weight management or self-care that they want to achieve, but they're having a hard time doing that. They're self-defeating. They put their own blocks in the way, right? We procrastinate, for example. So they name that goal and we work through with that, and whatever memories come up, they're able to keep totally private. So that's where I don't have to be a counselor or a therapist. But then at the end of each session, they've gained freedom and they've gained clarity and strength and conviction. And those subconscious roadblocks are moved out of the way. So I hope that was a clear explanation. It's a beautiful process, and it's such a privilege being able to do it with women. And I the women I work with who know that they want to do better with diet or with exercise or lifestyle choices as a whole, self-care. I mean, you know, for me, it's just remembering to get to bed on time because I need that sleep more than I need this. While an Aroma-freedom session helped me realize what I was doing. There was a subconscious driver that was preventing me from providing good self-care, that prevented me from being able to get to bed on time. There was some subconscious belief system. And when I did an Aroma-freedom session on myself, I removed that. And now I'm typically in bed between 10 and 10:30 on the best nights. Yeah.
That's a good goal for all of us, right?
Yeah.
All of us moms listening. Oh my goodness. Yes. I think that all of us can make a connection with some aroma from our past, whether it be positive or negative. For me, I was actually just having this conversation with my mom a couple weeks ago. My dad is a carpenter, and he's really amazing at building things out of wood with his own hands and using a saw, and so coming home and walking in the garage and having that scent of sawdust hit me in the face, it's now one of my favorite smells. Whenever I smell sawdust, I think it's like a warm, fuzzy feeling that I get thinking of my dad, but then I can think of other not so positive connections too. So, like you were saying, how we have this crazy connection in our brain between aroma and our emotions. And so that's how aroma freedom, like you said, is so powerful, because we can actually shift those neural pathways using essential oils.
Yeah.
So any negative experiences that we've had in the past that are creating blockages from us moving forward or achieving our goals, we can use it as a tool. Like you said, it's not psychotherapy, it's not, but we can use it as another tool in our toolbox to help moving us in the right direction, to help move us forward. So, and it's a fraction of the cost of, of, like you said, if you can, if you still have to see a psychologist, absolutely, that's what you need to do. And we would never say, don't do that. That's an important part of a person's healing when it comes to emotional challenges. But if you can, kind of shorten that process a little bit with this modality,
Right.
It's a fabulous tool,
Absolutely. Yeah. The other component I didn't really go into is the fact that the emotions and the aroma of something and our memory can be fully triangulated. So we don't have a memory unless there's an emotional connection to it. And I'll give you my Cliff Notes version of the story I always share to make sense of this. Can you remember what you had as a snack 20 years ago? Probably not, right? Well, I can. I was
You're talking to a nutritionist here, so I remember.
I was at SeaWorld, and this is before I was, I had shifted my lifestyle, right, to where I was making much healthier choices for my body. But I was walking through the park, and I had a chocolate chip ice cream sandwich, okay? And I was so enjoying that ice cream sandwich. It was a big treat for me to have that. And I'm walking forward in the park 20 years ago, and a large seagull came through, swooped down from behind me, snatched it out of my hand, and flew away.
Wow.
So there's an event that creates part of that memory, but the second part of that memory is the emotion, because I was shocked and I was horrified and I found it hilarious. I mean, all these emotions ran through me. So I can tell you, to this day, I was holding it in my right hand and I had just turned to look. So it's a very powerful memory for me. Well, what if it had been a traumatic memory? What if that had been a memory where somebody was saying very, very unkind things to me, right? So those same kinds of memories become deeply ingrained. They become part of our hard wiring. And God has created us in a way where we are self-protective. And so in this fallen world that we live in, we're exposed to hurtful things on a regular basis, and we become self-protective. And sometimes our subconscious drives that in a way that makes it so that we're unable to achieve goals, but we don't understand why. Why can't I make that phone call? Why can't I put that ice cream sandwich down instead of, choosing something better for me because I'm pre-diabetic or whatever it might be? We find ourselves being self-defeating. thinking. And so those subconscious drivers from negative past experiences are oftentimes what's causing that. And when we do Aroma Freedom, we make that that memory complex is actually what it's called. This memory complex gets pulled apart, and like you said, new neural pathways are created. And so that is a beautiful, amazing thing, because there is then a permanent shift, in what we believe, in what we see.
So how many sessions of Aroma Freedom does it take for it to really just become concrete in the mind?
That's a fantastic question. Sometimes one, and sometimes many. You know, it really depends. I work with, like I said, I work exclusively with women. And when someone has something that stems from, you know, perhaps a negative experience that the world wouldn't see as a big T trauma, for example, sometimes we can clear something out like that just in one session, and they're able to move forward and they feel stronger, and that's fantastic. Other times, you know, they have experienced a major trauma, oftentimes in childhood. We know the statistics of women and abuse, you know, in childhood. And so some things are very multifaceted. And again, I'm not a counselor or therapist, and I always encourage people to seek counseling if they're really, truly stuck. But when someone is ready to move forward and ready to start achieving their goals that they want to achieve, aromatherapy or aroma freedom therapy can actually be a fantastic thing. And I offer free 30-minute sessions for question and answers, just to make sure it is the appropriate fit for someone to make that dedication for the time that they would spend with me otherwise.
Awesome. So real quick, because I know our time is wrapping up here, but I would like to know what your suggestion for the top 5 essential oils that can help with weight management and body image.
Okay. Weight management and body image. So definitely oils like Joy. So Joy essential oil. I know that sounds like a fun one or an odd one to begin off this type of a conversation. But, you know, when we have Joy, we are able to shift just beautifully, right? We're able to shift how we perceive things or how we receive things or how we present ourselves. And that alone can give us some strength. Hope is another fantastic one if someone is really feeling hopeless. So yes, there are 2 essential oil blends, one called Joy and one called Hope. And for people who have never experienced an emotional shift with essential oils, you may be sitting there thinking, yeah, whatever. But I promise you, when you have that happen to you, my background is 30 plus years as a veterinary technician in veterinary medicine and academia. And so I was very Western medicine oriented until the last 7 years. And I had to make some major shifts in my lifestyle to be able to function, just to be able to move forward every day. And so I was opened all of a sudden to a lot of different modalities of things, including essential oils 3 years ago. And when I had my first personal experience, I was like, whoa, this isn't oil. This stuff works, right? Because it made me feel so much better in the situation I was in. So Joy and Hope are 2 definite ones. Grapefruit is a fantastic one for helping us to be a little bit of an appetite inhibitor, if you will. There's actually an essential oil blend called Sleek, S-L-I-Q-U-E, Sleek. And if you're watching this and you're wondering about all of these things, either Christy or I can get you connected with any of these types of oils. But Sleek is an actual appetite suppressant. It's a blend of different essential oils. It has a little bit of stevia in it, and you would just follow the label directions on it from there and use it in your water as you drink it throughout the day. And the last one I would really suggest would be the Lemon Vitality essential oil, and putting that in your water, again, so that you're increasing your water take so you feel more satiated, right? You're flushing those toxins out of your body. And the lemon oil is fantastic for helping us to have very happy, healthy livers. So those are all things that I would definitely recommend, emotional side and physiological side.
And you said, should we be diffusing those or taking them internally, or all of the above?
Yeah, I didn't say that. You're right. Good question. So for the sleek oil, the grapefruit oil, and the lemon essential oil, those three, I would put in my water and consume those. The joy and the hope are just two small examples of emotional oils, emotional supporting oils, where they can be utilized in the diffuser, or you can wear them even just like a perfume. So, just apply it over your heart or apply it on your wrists, whatever you would like to do. There's really not a wrong place to place an essential oil unless you're wanting to put it in your eye or in a mucous membrane that doesn't take oils. In your ear canal, that's another one. That's a big no-no. But otherwise, if it's an oil that's okay to be taken internally, then by all means, you can make it in a capsule, or you can put it into your water.
Okay.
Yes. And one last thing, if you're using citrus oils and water, always make sure that you're using stainless steel or ceramic or a glass container. Never, ever, ever use plastic containers. I know the big tumbler cups are such a big hit right now, but get yourself a stainless steel one and a stainless steel straw, because those citrus oils do not play nicely with plastic. They actually break them down. And the next reaction I see around the room when I say things like this, people go, oh, why would we take them internally? Okay, well, because you're constantly exposed to plastic. You are not made of plastic. Therefore, you want to eliminate any plasticants that you've been exposed to, which we're exposed to all day long, every day. And so it's a great way to help our bodies detox.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, fabulous. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and then educate us on oils and aroma freedom. And I'm sure we'll be hearing from you more in the future. Yeah. And again, if you want to get in touch with Kimberly to do a free Aroma Freedom initial session, right? It's like introductory.
It's just a consultation to be able to say, is this a good fit for you? What questions do you have? What all's entailed? All that kind of thing. Yeah, it's okay. Up to 30 minutes at no cost, just to make sure it really is a good fit. I mean, it may not be for everyone. I think it is, because I've seen it change so many women's lives, but you as my client have to be 100% comfortable and feel secure in what you're doing, and it has to be your choice. I can't tell you you need to do it and then do a session with you, because it has to be your heart, your mind ready to move forward. That's the key thing.
Absolutely. Yes. Readiness. That whole readiness thing is key. Well, you can get a hold of Kimberly on our website, bardlactationwellness.com. You can also message her through Facebook, and you have your own Facebook page. It is A Renewed Mind, right?
A Renewed Mind with Aroma Freedom. Yes, exactly.
Okay. So thank you so much, Kimberly.
You're so welcome. Thank you for your time.
Have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye.